Hi, this is Joby Provido, and you're listening to Contemplating the Rosary, where we talk about how to pray the Holy Rosary even better. In 104 episodes, over 4 seasons, we will explore a method of how to say the Rosary the way Pope St. John Paul II, Pope Paul VI, and other Rosary advocates recommend, and that's by contemplating the mysteries while we say the Our Father, Hail Mary, and Glory Be. This podcast is based on the book Beyond the Veil, Contemplating the Mysteries of the Holy Rosary, available at Lazada in the Philippines and in print or Kindle on Amazon, wherever you are. Visit kindlingspress.com for more information and where you can read and download the episode guide. This is episode 74 of the series, the 20th episode of season 3. It's nice to have you back here listening in on how we can pray the Rosary the contemplative way. Today we'll be exploring the second glorious mystery, the Ascension. Some of the glorious mysteries are difficult to imagine because we don't have a description from scriptures, but I think with a well-informed mind, we can pretty much imagine them. So, what can we imagine during the Ascension? For one, we can imagine the Father opening His arms to receive His only Son, if the Father had arms. If God could say, I missed you, the Father and Son would probably do that in a truly transcendent way we humans can only imagine. If we zoom out and try to see heaven a little bit more broadly, for sure we would see the rejoicing of the holy angels. Gabriel would have been ecstatic that the person he announced to Mary is now back in heaven. The choir of angels that sung the Gloria on the night of Christ's nativity must have been singing with greater fervor now that He is with them. His guardian angels, the ones who ministered to Him during the temptation in the garden, they would have been truly honored because the person they were made to guard and protect made it to heaven. We can imagine the other angels singing praises to these angels, for the person in their charge was triumphant in getting into heaven. Why would the angels be so overjoyed? Because the angels were made through and for God the Son. They are His angels. Their rightful place is to serve Him, and they are perfectly happy doing just that. Whatever our Lord commands, they do. He is the King, and His angelic army is ready to do His bidding. This is why the Ascension makes so much sense. Doesn't a general seek the high ground to get a scope of the battlefield? Up there, a general sees all. He is at an advantage being able to see around him. It should remind us of the time after the feeding of 5,000. Our Lord went to a deserted place to be alone with His disciples who had just come back and needed rest from their first mission. When He arrived there was a crowd that went to Him for healing. Moved with pity, He ministered to them. Because it was late and they were in a deserted place, there was no nearby place to buy food. And so our Lord performed the miracle of the feeding of the 5,000. When that was over, our Lord needed to be alone and to pray. So He told His disciples to take the boat and go across the other side to Bethsaida, while He went up a mountain to pray. There was not much incident, but when evening came, Jesus saw that the boat was furiously being tossed by waves caused by raging winds. So our Lord went to assist them. He even walked on water to get to them. And when He got onto the boat, and the boat made it safely to Bethsaida. In heaven, our Lord has taken the high ground in His holy mountain. There, He has the vantage point to see all of us in our tiny boats trying to make it safely to the other side, to heaven. Sometimes the wind is strong and the waves are rough. Sometimes sea creatures threaten to rattle the boat. But our Lord sees all, and He wastes no time getting into our boat and calming down the wind. Of course, only if we would let Him. It doesn't mean our Lord needs a vantage point to help us because He sees all. But climbing the mountain of heaven to watch over us is a nice way to see His ascension. The Ascension then is such a comfort to us because we know Christ, who loves us perfectly, is watching us the way a good father watches his child. That's our episode for today. Don't forget to like this episode, click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll be notified when the next episode drops. As always, this podcast is brought to you by thecatholictalks.com and kindlingspress.com, where you can read more articles on the Catholic faith and find more books on Catholicism. This has been Joby Provido. I'll say goodbye for now, and please join me again next time when we can learn to pray the Rosary better. Bye-bye.